Hi everyone, it's great to see you. Today we're going to be working in the garden, updating some of our summer pots to look a little bit more fallish. And the good thing is, with an update like this, it doesn't have to be super expensive and it doesn't have to take a lot of effort. One little change in each pot can be enough. I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can do this. So if you take a look at this urn here and this urn over here, these have been my summer planters, and in each one I have a lemon coral sedum that is still looking good. I have the tiara blue petunia, and I have one of the geraniums, the coral color. Oh, there is something else in here, and a tuberous begonia. So I'm noticing that this is fine. I could continue going with this, but I think by switching some things out, I can make this look even better. And I'm going to use those other plants in a different place. So I'm not giving anything up. I'm just redistributing. And I'm going to add one thing. So the first thing I need to do is decide, what do I want to keep in here and what things do I want to move. The lemon coral sedum, I really like how it's flowing over the edge. It looks good, and that can go right through the fall. My petunias are getting a little leggy. I think I'm going to put them somewhere else. And so I'm just going to take those out. Anything I'm taking out, I'm just putting in a box to the side so we can find a home for them later. And this geranium is going to move also. Okay, let's come on over here. I'm going to do the same thing, keeping my lemon coral sedum. It has a lot of other things in it, but it's fine. And I'm going to take out the geranium. There we go. And I'm going to take out the tiara blue petunias and the baby oak tree. Okay, so I've decided to leave the tuberous begonia. My tuberous begonias, they do go through until frost. Sometimes they look better than others, and I'm okay with how this is looking. This one actually looks much better. That other one might all of a sudden start to look great, who knows. But I'm going to add one thing that brings that element of fall to these planters, and that is going to be this beautiful purple fountain grass. So fountain grass is an annual, and frequently people start it in the spring in their planters, and that's fine. You can do that. As you get close to fall, it's going to start putting on its little fuzzy catkin thingies. I don't know what they're really called, on the end. And this, to me, it does look like fall with the deeper purple look to it. And I believe the more sun it's in, the more purple it's going to become. These have been sitting in the shade waiting for me to plant them. And this is really a statement piece too. You really notice a big grass like this. So if you're going around and you happen to find some of these at a nursery, I found these at Home Depot. They're a nice thing to add in. They give a lot of height with their tall, spiky grass. And now I have quite a bit of space here. And you know, they're not going to last that long. But look at how pretty that's going to be draping over this chartreuse green. I really like that. Now I need to add some dirt to these because I just pulled out some plants. So let's get these in, and then we'll add in a little potting mix. I'm going to pull them together so you can see them even better. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now, usually I do not recommend giving fertilizer to your plants after like August 1st. So if you're past August 1st, which we are here, we are going to be September 1st tomorrow, hard to believe, these will do just fine through the rest of your season without any more fertilizer. Okay. I am adding in some really good potting mix, and that will give them enough of what they need. Okay. Oh, the bag is not opening. Okay, here we go. Good enough. Oh boy. Now, the only thing I recommend when you put the potting mix in is try not to spill it everywhere. It's what I tell myself every time. It never works. Okay, that looks not too bad. And I'm just gonna make sure that it's situated in a fairly decent place because it sort of overflows the sides or the top. It's hard to tell if you're centered or not sometimes, and that's okay. You can just turn the pot to make it look good. Okay, I'm just gonna move this a little bit over here. Let's see. Hopefully that looks pretty good. Let's add some potting mix to this side. Okay, and then always step back and make sure that everything is straight, because when you're this close, it can be very difficult to tell. And this fountain grass is leaning a little bit, and that's okay. Let's see if that's a little better. Not bad. I'm going to put them on the two sides of our driveway. Then we're going to take the plants that we took out of these and bring them to the backyard and rearrange a couple pots with those in them. Okay, so now I'm on the back deck and I have some planters here that were planters that I just threw some things in as a holding place earlier in the season. I have a whole bunch of zinnias that I grew from seed. They're kind of tall and straggly. And then I have some African daisies that I took out of the window boxes and said I'm going to save them till it gets cooler and then we'll bring them back into action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the zinnias out, and I will probably end up clipping them back. Remember, zinnias are cut and come again flowers, and that they like to be trimmed down. They will bloom again. So I can take them out, find another place for them, trim them down. They'll be perfectly fine with that. Okay, that had some African daisies go with it, but that's okay. This is what I mean by rearranging your pots. This pot is not in its best shape, so we're going to do a little changing around so that it can really, again, look gorgeous for the fall. And I find this tends to happen each year. I often end up with a couple planters that were I didn't know what to do with those plants at the moment. So I put them in and they're still alive and doing well, which is great. And now it's time to really make use of the space. Now your other option would be if you still, oh my goodness, these are really rooted in here. Look away while I just, oops, tug them out. Okay, well, hey, it's an adventure. Okay, we're gonna put those in a different place. If your planter looked fabulous, you probably don't want to do this. It does sort of disrupt everything, but I sort of like going in and cleaning things up, and well, I do a lot of cleaning up, what can I say? And making it better. Okay, we have two of these African daisies in here now. They sort of have started to grow facing the wrong direction. I'm going to hope that as I add in other things, they're going to straighten up a bit. It could not work, I don't know. We also have a lot of roots in here, so it might be best, if that happens, to take out what you're saving. Take or sort of rough up your potting mix in here. Wow, I'm really surprised. It was really damp on top. But this is just dry down here. And there's a lot of roots. We're just gonna get rid of the roots. Okay. Because we do want good drainage. Let's see what I can find down here. Oh yeah. This is the dirty part of being a gardener. Don't wear your best clothes. Okay. I think maybe I planted this in old potting mix even before, but it's crumbling up nicely. I'll show you in a second. Oh, look at this. That mat was blocking all my drainage holes at the bottom. So we're just gonna get rid of that. That's, oh, so much better. We're workable now. Okay, it's saved. I'll get some potting mix. My goodness. When I went to check out these bags, the person working the cashier was like, oh, you know, if you get one bag that's twice this big, it's so much cheaper, but there's no way I could lift that bag. I was like, no, I have to pay the extra so that I can actually use them. Okay, there we go. Some fresh potting mix. I'm really liking this Coast of Maine potting mix. It's been really good for me. Okay. And remember, not adding any of the fertilizer now because we're past September 1st. I usually stop around August 1st. But the good new potting mix here will probably give it enough of a little pick-me-up for the rest of the season. Okay, now we need to make it look beautiful. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take one of the African daisies. And it's a little droopy, but we're not going to panic. We're going to nestle that in. Okay, that is one thing that I'm saving. Now, if you see that like this one is going the wrong direction and not working with me. Okay, now I'm gonna settle them deeper. Yeah, I think they're gonna go over the edge, but I'm kind of okay with that. Maybe it'll give it a little trailing look. Trying to be positive about how sad they're looking at the moment. Let's see what else I have that we can put in here. Okay, these are a couple of the plants that I picked up at Wildwood. What fun it was for that shopping trip. So this is an ornamental pepper called Calico. I think I get this one every year. I like it because it has the variegated leaves, which to me are really pretty. And it gets these nice, deep, shiny, dark purple peppers with lots of little purple flowers here. So you know how I love pinks and purples. To me, this brings that element of fall, but we're still bringing in the pinks and purples that I like. And I like how the dark foliage looks with that green, that bright green. Okay, so there's part of it. Situate it up a little bit more, and then I picked up one of the celosias. This is First Flame Purple. It's kind of a brighter purple, and I just love how fuzzy they are. I believe one of their nicknames is coxcomb, this variety, because it looks like rooster feathers. Okay. We're gonna put that in. Oh, I like that pairing. That's nice because of the two different colors here too. I feel like we need a little something there. So this is when I look in the side garden and see if we have any of the coleus that have seeded in the ground. So let's go check. Okay, I know that along here I usually get a couple coleus that sort of root into the ground, and this is a great time to see if you can rescue them. Oh, look at that. Add them to a planter. Okay, here's another one over here. Let's see, come on over here, Dan, so you can see this one because he's so cute. Look at this. This is a different variety with that nice white center. That'll be nice and bright in a pot. Ooh, this is tricky. It's like hardly rooted in. We're gonna try though. Okay, and then over here, I think I saw another one. Down the garden path. Okay, this one might have gotten a little out of control, but this is not really where I want him planted anyway. So let's just carefully take them out. Look at that. Oh, Beautiful. Okay. Love it when we can just move them around. Now let's get back to the planter. Okay, so we're back here and I have these couple that are just really flopping for me. I'm going to trim them off. That is fine. And I'm going to turn this plant a bit more. These are the African daisies now, so that they're held up by the pepper plants. Yes, that's going to be better. I think we sort of need to get them situated in here so that it gives some support to them. Yes, we're looking better. Now I have this empty spot. So this is where we go, yep, that guy's too big. And then let's look and see what color we like. Oh, I sort of like both. I think I'll put both of these little guys in here. Now remember, your coleus like this, you can take a cutting of one that's doing well and just put it in with no roots, and it will root on its own. They are so good at rooting like that. Okay, now it looks a little bare in here, but I think give it a couple weeks, that's going to look fabulous. Look at that. So we just took an out of control planter and made a beautiful fall planter by jostling things around, digging things up, finding things in the garden, and adding a couple new things. Okay, let's put that one to the side. Oh, I'm liking it. I think it's gonna work. Okay, and let's talk about this urn here. Okay. So this was sort of another catch-all urn. These are all African daisies, and we had terrible rain. It has splatted them out. Then up front, right here, we have the heartthrob hydrangea that was on its way to die, that was planted in the garden. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna put it in a pot so I can keep an eye on it. Oh, it's still alive, so I guess that's good. And I'm noticing that this planter is really wet. I don't know what happened to the drainage here, but we are going to take out these African daisies. If we can save some, it's going to be like in the other planter where they're kind of lopsided, but we'll work around that. I don't know if we really can or not, but you know what? I'm not happy with how this is looking, so it's worth taking them out. There's one. And maybe I'll just plant them in the ground, in the back of the garden. And that's fine too, in between some of my daylilies that have already bloomed, and see if they come back. And if not, I didn't lose anything. Okay, there's another one. Oh my, oh, there's a baby weed of something. Okay, we'll take that out. Yeah. So let's take a look at these. If they were standing up like this, we'd be doing okay. So let's dig them out. You notice that I use my hands a lot with digging like this? That's because I can just sort of feel underneath where the roots are, and it's easier for me to scoop it out. I just like playing in the dirt. No, not really. I honestly don't like to be dirty, but I love gardening, so it's okay. Okay, here we go. We're gonna rough up some of this potting mix. I'm a little concerned about this hydrangea still, but I'm not willing to give up on it, so we're just gonna sort of hide it and plant around it and see if perhaps we can get it to survive. I really don't know. So this is heartthrob. I'm gonna move its sign over there. That might end up in the back. I don't know. We might need to sort of change things around. So let's think what would look good in here. This is a slightly, ooh, big spider. This is a slightly bigger container. It's gonna have a little bit more impact up here. And I had that nice big coleus. I could put that in. And maybe one of my heuchera that I got. Oh, I gotta show you the heuchera. Just a second. Okay, take a look at these. These are awesome. So I have this one in my holding space. I got it about a month ago at Wildwood, and this is dressed up evening gown. I don't do a lot of these dark purple heuchera. I just haven't tried them. So I don't know. It's actually in bloom right now with little tiny pink flowers. And honestly, evening gown is a great name for it because it looks kind of satiny and silky. It's a lighter purple on the other side, very ripply. Now the dressed up ball gown is the, I'm sorry, my nose is running. The dressed up ball gown is the chartreuse green one that I love so much with this really ripply look. So I'm thinking this could be gorgeous in here. But then when I was at Wildwood this week, look at this one. This is gorgeous too. This is in the Primo series and it's Wild Rose heuchera and it has sort of a pinky back. Now, this is where you can tell there's a difference between heuchera. You can't just say to someone, get a maroon heuchera. There's so many different varieties. Do you want shiny, a little darker? Do you want a little more pink in yours? They had some that had like a little bit more amber color. It's just like so many different choices. Now let's take a look. Do we like that together? I do. Okay. What about this? That looks really good too. I think I'm going to go with the rose one though. I don't know why I say that. Now, with your coleus, it will send roots out in the stalk. So I'm going to pick off the bottom two. And then I'm going to take my nail and scratch down the side. You can't really see it, but I'm just making the top layer come off. When I do that, roots are going to grow out of all that and make this nice and strong and settled in here. So it'll keep it from flopping over. If I put it in just with this little tiny bit, it would not probably be enough to make it nice and strong and deep. Oh yeah, this is going to look good. Look at this. This is one I'm so glad I didn't pull it out because it grew in the wrong spot. Okay. It's looking good. And then we're going to take our Wild Rose heuchera. I'd be interested to hear your experience with heuchera in general. So my bunnies don't eat it except for in the end of the winter when they're really, really hungry, and it still comes back. But you know, when I plant it in the ground, it doesn't do great. In planters though, I've had terrific luck. So it makes me want to put it all in planters because if that's where it does best, that seems to make sense. Can we see this sort of peeking around? Yes, I even don't mind the little hydrangea peeking out there. Not bad. Okay, that looks pretty good. We could almost have something spilling over the edge here. And you know what I have a lot of that's spilling over the edge? Weird looking African daisies. I think that will be perfect. Here's one blooming. They're a little off center, but I think that's okay. I'm going to bump the coleus over a bit more. Okay. Make a little extra space. Let's see. I love the smell of coleus. I don't know if that's a weird thing, but this smells really good. Kind of like it's in the mint family. Okay, and now I'm going to make extra space. Oh, we might have to take some dirt out. That's okay. Okay, here we go. We're going to put this in, add the dirt back. Straighten this guy up. Oh my goodness. Okay. And now notice how you sort of fluff the leaves to fill in any gaps. I'm liking it. At least I like it from the back. We'll see when I go around to step in the front. Okay. If you find that you have extra coleus leaves that are just sort of in the way, just break them off. You don't have to worry. In fact, it's going to make it, oops, here's one I broke. It'll make it send out even more of these beautiful leaves. Okay, I gotta step back and see. Okay. We have a couple choices here. I like how it's looking. I feel like there's space like right in here where I need a little mid-size something. So I'm gonna scooch this back a little bit more. It's coming though. So here's a couple choices. Mid-size plant like this. This is going to be a zinnia. This is Zahara Starlight Rose. So the reason I got this, of course, it's beautiful. It's just starting to bloom. So there's tons of buds here, which means we're gonna get a lot of show out of this. Medium size, but I'm thinking of growing the Zinnia Zahara line from seed, and I wanted to see how long it lasted. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is to take some of my big zinnias, cut them back, put them in here and see if I can get them to bloom. I'm thinking we should do a little bit of both. So I'm gonna take a little tiny zinnia here. Lost my scissors. Okay, scissors. Probably under all the plants. Here they are. Okay. I'm going to take this guy because it's small. It won't be too hard to put in. And I'm going to cut it down where there are some little branching leaves. So I don't want to cut it so low that it's like just stalk. I want to have some leaves in here, but that's pretty good. Now we can go out sideways. I'm even going to forfeit that flower. Okay. And it's sort of mid-size. So now I just have to dig down deep enough to get that baby in. Ooh, I like the bright green in there too. Okay, so I could have just done that. I could have done a bigger clump, leave that in there. We're all set and then it'll bloom out. But hey, we're doing crazy things with our pots today. So let's add in this beauty now. This is gonna be gorgeous in here. Oh, give it, by the end of the week, I'll be posting pictures of how all this has settled in and is looking good. Remember, it's probably not going to look its best the first day, especially because I'm reusing things. And generally, you know, plants aren't super happy when you dig them up and move them. They'll be fine, but oh yeah, that's going to do it. That's what I'm looking for. Sort of that step down here, and we have that nice play of color. This zinnia is going to be perfect. I think that our African daisies are going to be good. Okay, I got to step back and see if it's as good as I think it is. Yes, I like that. That is excellent. Okay. Oh my goodness. This makes me happy. This makes me feel like it is overflowing with the things in my garden that were already overflowing. They were overflowing in an odd way, but that's okay. We're putting them together and giving them new life and a new look in the pot, and I love that. So we're starting to lose a little light. It is almost time to head in and get dinner. I have a whole bunch more plants to plant up. You do not have to do everything in one day. So that's great. That's what I'm going to go by today. I can't get it all done today. I'm going to once again find a holding place, another pot, plastic container, and I'm going to put these in and water them. And they'll last a few more days, especially now that it's a little cooler. And then I can make up some more arrangements. And hopefully you'll come along with me while I do that. So, I mean, we have to find a place for this beauty. We have some other plants. This is going to be fun. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.